Welcome to this special episode of Frequency Matters, the RF and Microwave Update series. I'm Pat Hindle, and I'm here with Anders Storm, CEO of Sivers Semiconductors, Mike Noonen, CEO of Mixcomm, and Harish Krishnaswamy, Co-Founder and CTO of Mixcomm. Welcome, guys.
Hi, Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Thank you.
So exciting news, Sivers Semiconductors acquisition of Mixcomm is almost complete. Can you guys maybe tell me how you first got together and decided to join forces? Because you're doing a lot of work and a lot of projects in millimeter wave all over the different applications.
Good. Maybe Harish, maybe you want to start on how you first became aware of Sivers?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's actually an interesting story because I first became aware of Sivers prior to the founding of Mixcomm. So I'm also, I have an academic career. I'm a professor at Columbia University. And in that capacity, I serve on the program committee of various IEEE conferences, and specifically the RFIC Symposium, which it's held together with IMS, and it's a premier conference for reporting advances in the area of RF chip design. And I think it was 2017, I was serving on that conference, and I was serving on the Best Industry Paper Award committee, and there was this paper from this company, Sivers Semiconductors, and they were demonstrating a 57 to 71 gigahertz transceiver for 60 gigahertz wireless applications. And so I was like, wow, that's extremely wide band. Never seen that before, both within industry or academia. And so, I quickly gave that the #1 ranking, and looks like, enough of the other members of the jury concurred with me, because that paper went on to win Best Paper Award. So that was actually when I first came across the company. And then subsequently at Columbia, we have this large project on an advanced 5G wireless test bed. And the goal is to sort of deploy commercial advanced wireless hardware for millimeter wave and massive MIMO. And so from Columbia, we actually bought a bunch of Sivers 60 gigahertz evaluation kits that have become a part of that test bed. And then within Mixcomm, following that, given all these positive experiences that we had, we actually were a customer of Sivers. We bought a bunch of 60 gigahertz radios again for a customer project that we had, where the idea was to kind of network a lot of these 60 gigahertz radios into a test bed for that customer. So it certainly goes back a long way, but maybe I'll let Anders talk a little bit about how this acquisition came to pass.
Yeah, thank you, Harish. So yeah, I agree. I wasn't when we actually acquired Mixcomm, I wasn't aware of that Harish had been in the board of this IEEE event, but later on we know that as well. But I think it was somewhere 2018 or whatever, when you started buying evaluation kits, of course, you came up on our radar. And then you started doing becoming a competitor in a way with the beamformers and everything, and you did that really, really well. And the joint work with antenna in package with Global Foundries was really, really impressive. And both having so high thoughts about each other, it was a great opportunity to start talking about coming together and become a team. So basically that was happened, and we started a conversation with Mike, and we found a way together, and here we are.
Indeed, having some mutual respect from both the technology and as well as the products, and as we got to know Anders and the team, we thought wow, this is going to be a great and a really exciting combination.
Excellent. So it sounds like you guys had a lot of similar products, but also are in different markets. What synergies and technologies do the companies bring together, and how do they complement each other?
If I start there, I would say that the most striking piece is that Sivers have been working, as we talked about, in the unlicensed spectrum, and Harish's team and Mike's team has been more in the licensed spectrum, even if we have had things there as well. But they have also been more focused on, beamformers, larger arrays, and that kind of solutions. So therefore, the overlap is not so big. Plus all the really great things that Mixcomm has in Satcom, in repeaters, as well as the algorithms to improve the RFICs and so forth. So all of those things made it we were still in the same business, but still a bit different, which makes the mix really interesting.
And I would say, the other interesting aspect about this acquisition is that, of course, Sivers is heavily Europe-based, while we are almost exclusively based in the US. So this gives us a good foothold in both major markets. But, aside from the things that are complementary on the technology side, I'd say that what both companies share is sort of a way of working where we work extremely closely with the customer as a partner, rather than your typical sort of hands-off vendor-customer relationship. We recognize that deploying mmWave and getting systems to mass production in mmWave is extremely challenging. That sort of body of knowledge hasn't sort of permeated into the industry and become an existing knowledge base just yet. And so really, vendors and customers have to work together to make that happen. And so I think, if you talk to customers in this space, they will tell you that both Sivers and Mixcomm are, among the best companies to work with in terms of, a partnership and responsiveness and fundamentally a tight relationship.
So Sivers Semiconductors recently announced that Mixcomm is working on the world's first 5G module optimized for the metaverse. And this really struck me as a very interesting thing, unique product. Can you tell me what's different about it and when it will be ready?
Yeah, Pat, happy to, and so glad you picked up on that. As both the Sivers and Mixcomm have considerable antenna technology as well as modules and antenna package, but we still look to identify who's doing really innovative work and really can be something exciting that comes can add value to our beamformer ICs. And one of those companies is Cremo, based in South Korea. And Cremo has come up with a really innovative way to get 360 degrees of basically dispersion, as well as the ability to have antennas on display. And so we think their antenna capabilities combined with our best-in-class beamformers and really the best efficiency as well as output power are really going to be ideally suited for the form factors and usage models that the metaverse is going to require. And so, this is one of the exciting partnerships and building out the ecosystem that Sivers Semiconductor will be at the heart of. And in fact, in a couple of weeks at Mobile World Congress, we'll be showing off the first version of the Cremo 360-degree antenna with one of our Summit 28 gigahertz devices right behind it.
Excellent. I look forward to seeing that. So as you mentioned, with expertise in the licensed and unlicensed band now, and also advanced semiconductor technology along with the packaging technology, what are some of the initial new efforts or markets or products that you might be looking to release? Yeah,
so one of the interesting pieces here is, of course, if we look at the repeaters that Mixcomm have been working on with this large company and around 39 gigahertz. And if you look at sort of how will that in the future will be backhauled. So for example, we're looking at this sort of built-in backhauling and so forth. And Sivers just recently having a partnership with MaxLinear, for example, for 57 to 71 gigahertz backhaul with 10 gigabits per second. So that kind of solutions, I think we'll start seeing sort of as the next generation joint products where we're both using the beamformers and the antenna packages that Mixcomm has done, and then the 60 gigahertz stuff from Sivers. Then there's going to be a lot of that kind of new technology. And then, of course, we constantly launching for all the different verticals, new products, and you will see a range of things being launched for Mobile World Congress, as well as things already being launched last year, and also new modules coming out in different for different verticals and so forth. So we're quite excited about now actually being able to go live back to Mobile World Congress and show all the new stuff we're doing and demo it live in our own booth.
Indeed. And what Anders describes is, really, what we think is the most complete toolbox when it comes to mmWave. And at Mobile World Congress, we're going to announce, some new additions to the toolbox, including, enhanced versions of our, beamformers across, all the licensed, frequencies from 24 all the way through 39, a fixed wireless access module, as well as our, first, discrete up-down converter, ideal and really, optimized for FR2 applications. So, quite exciting, and we think this is going to open up all sorts of new opportunities, by covering, all of the relevant your frequencies and being able to really enable what carriers are looking for, and a combination of licensed and unlicensed best-in-class products.
Well, you've really brought together a strong team, and looks like you guys are going to be really competitive in many markets. So good luck. So thanks, Anders, Mike, and Harish for talking with me today. And it's been great exploring the different areas that you'll be working in. We wish you the best and hope to catch up with you again later on for an update. Thanks everybody for watching today, and see you next time on Frequency Matters.